This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into the Royals POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and I'm here to bring your reaction to every Royals game the rest of the way. Follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That's at ChanceLiebau. If you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes and podcasts will always be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcasts. I want to say thank you for making the Locked On Royals podcast and the Royals POSTCAST your first listen of the day. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live. I want to say thanks for joining the show, and feel free to join the live chat and let me know your thoughts on the game, and I'll do my best to respond to your comments. I already got some people in here that not particularly pleased with what we saw from the Royals today. Obviously, the 8-5 loss. A lot of lipstick on that pig there in the final innings of the game. But that was quite the display the Royals put on as a whole. Bailey Falter, somebody making a play on words, A and B, saying couldn't have gone with Bailey Falters as the title. I was actually trying to come up with something more creative, but I don't love calling out individual players, especially in the title. Now, he wasn't impressive at all. He didn't earn this, but when it comes to the titles, I'll be brutally honest during the actual live stream. But when it comes to the actual titles, his wife might see that, his kids might see that on the YouTube page. That's not something I want to do to that guy. He's still a human being. He obviously doesn't feel good about how he played. But if somebody does well, I'll obviously highlight him. But good point, A and B, about Bailey definitely faltered a little bit. But definitely not the outing that the Royals wanted here. But I'll talk about it. That's what this podcast is for. It's for instant reaction, gut reaction to the game. And I'll just be honest, I came away with this one fairly unimpressed. This was a bad game from the entire team as a whole. There was a lot of lipstick on this pig, like I said. But it is a little bit reminiscent of the Braves series in a way. I commented on Joel Penfield, his tweet. He does some great stuff for KC Sports Network, One Royal Way, fantastic stuff over there. Definitely shoot him a follow. But he said something about, well, maybe the crooked number will help the offense confidence going into the next couple games. And I said, will the exact same thing happen in the Braves series? So before we get too deep into the weeds, let's hear what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I think that the Bailey Falter outing is going to be what is on the forefront of everybody's mind, and as it should be. He was really bad today. The Red Sox are a team that I don't think are great against lefties, and so I felt like it was a good matchup for him coming in. He just didn't have good command, and the Red Sox are a team that puts the ball in play. I mean, I'm going to look, I think they're one of the best teams in baseball at not striking out, and obviously against Falter, who is not really a strikeout pitcher. He's the anti-strikeout pitcher. A team like the Red Sox are not a great matchup for him. The strikeout rate, let's take a look here. The Red Sox are actually the third worst at strikeout rate this year. So I'm an idiot. But it was just not a good matchup for him. He's not a strikeout pitcher. They talked about it on the broadcast, second worst chase rate, second worst strikeout rate in baseball. He's not going to get a bunch of guys out by himself. And when he's picking at the zone and nibbling at the corners, and he's not getting calls, he's not getting chases, he's falling behind in the count, and he's got to sit in these fastball counts. The Red Sox are a good offense from top to bottom. I mean, that's one thing that the Red Sox do have going for them. They're top to bottom good as a lineup. So I know there's a lot of people that are being negative about Bailey Falter in the chat, and I get that. Instant gut reaction. You can only make a first impression once. I get that. He's got a lot of Chris Bubich to his game. Chris Bubich was not a strikeout, punch-out guy, but their profiles pitching-wise are very similar. Rising fastball, sweeper that's good when it's on, good changeup. true 5-pitch mix from Bailey Falter. He just couldn't throw strikes tonight. And I get that there's going to be a lot of negative reaction. But other than that, I mean, it's going to take patience. I like the pickup. There are a lot of Pirates fans that are pissed off about them trading him away. And I understand the negative talk, the negative opinions on Bailey Falter after this outing. He pitched poorly. He was awful. He was behind in every count, wasn't in the zone at all, didn't do himself any favors. He's a batter away. If he can get Duran out in that first inning, he's an out away from this game being a little bit more competitive. But instead, Duran takes him to deep center, and we're talking about an 8-run outing for a Red Sox lineup that has been crushing the ball recently. I said it on the show yesterday. The difference in this series and the Blue Jays series is Toronto sucked in the last week before they faced the Royals. They had sucked. They had given up 9 runs or more in 3 out of their last 4, and the pitching staff had been atrocious, lost 4 out of their last 5. The Red Sox are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Best record in July in the American League at 20-7. And then they make a couple of moves to, pump things up a little bit as a rotation and a bullpen. We saw Steven Matz today. So there's a big difference, in my opinion, in what we saw from the Blue Jays, who were a team that was scuffling, and a Red Sox team that is just now hitting their stride and hitting the gas. So I approach this series with caution, because while you want to continue that great momentum, you think you can parlay 4 straight series wins into maybe a sweep on the road or continuing that. Like, at some point, the hot streak is going to come to a close. They're going to level out a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to lose anything or anything like that, but this is a Red Sox team that's been playing really good baseball, and a Red Sox team that plays really well at home. The Royals are in the midst. This is the middle series of a 9-game road trip. The Red Sox are at home for the 2nd straight series. So there's a lot going into this. I didn't think Falter pitched well at all, but be patient with him, because he just got picked up 3 days ago, whatever it was. So be a little bit patient with him. I know that it's really easy to jump to conclusions and say they lost the trade. They shouldn't have traded for him. Folks, it was better than seeing Rich Hill on the mound again. It was better than calling up Dallas Keuchel, who's gotten blitzed in AAA, and seeing him start. So I understand everybody wants to get on the ledge and look over right now, but they just lost game 1 to a team that's really hot right now. And the exact same thing happened a week ago today, and the Royals went on to win the series against the Braves. I have confidence that Bailey Falter will bounce back, because he didn't have his best stuff today. He was not in the zone at all. I think at some point he will be. I don't think that he forgot how to pitch when he donned the gray and blue. I don't think that he forgot how to pitch. He was a good pitcher for the Pirates, a really good pitcher for the Pirates. They just need him to be better than he was today. And for the offense, we'll talk about that, because I thought the offense sucked today, and I think it was a matchup problem with Brian Bayo. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching the Royals Postcast. It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick and energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. And summer sports are in full swing. And when you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburnt at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. The offense was not good today, and I do not care what they did in the 8th inning. That was off of who was pitching for the Red Sox. That was Justin Wilson, who has bounced around the league for what feels like almost a decade now. The offense was not good today. I have been one of the biggest Jonathan India believers this side of the Mississippi. I loved the deal when it happened. I rebuffed everyone who said that they should have kept Singer and Jonathan India was a bust and all this jazz. I was a fan of the deal. I thought he brought an element offensively the Royals did not have, and he seemed like a good clubhouse guy and a guy that could do kind of what they needed in the top of the lineup. He's been quite a letdown this season, has not performed up to expectations, as has about 15 of the other guys in the opening day roster. But to a certain extent, he's been kind of just what a lot of people expected. Preston Farr tweeted out that he was pretty close to his preseason expectation, but I was fine with how he's played. Now, he's in the middle of a massive slump right now, and the Royals just went out and got Mike Yastrzemski, who hit leadoff for the Giants and done it in a big way. Throughout his career, he's hitting the leadoff spot more than any other spot in the lineup. I'm a big fan of Mike Yastrzemski and what he brings to this lineup, and I think that putting him in the leadoff spot really opens up what this offense could do. Now, Jonathan India, you brought him in at the beginning of the season to be your leadoff guy, but he's in a massive slump, and today had a couple of just putrid ABs. I mean, the 8th inning, the inning that was so good for the Royals, that inning ends very quickly if Jonathan India doesn't get one of the most generous calls I've seen from that was a very generous ball 4 call on the Jonathan India walk in that 8th inning. And I get it. A run did not end up scoring after that because Bobby ended up hitting into a stupid, we'll talk about that in a second. But the Jonathan India ABs have just been atrocious. He's not working ABs. Pitchers are attacking him with fastballs. He's being way too patient in the first inning. I mean, he is down 0-2 more than he's been ahead 1-0, I think, in a long time. It is just fastball, and then you're playing a little bit. You're playing catch up. It's kind of guessing game from that point on. And so far this year, Jonathan India has guessed horribly. So I would love to see them move him off of the leadoff spot. He has not hit outside of the leadoff spot this season. I'd like to see them have a change of pace a little bit. He got off to an atrocious start this season, and I get it. He was playing out of position, third and left, trying to get him some kind of reps. But you brought in Mike Yastrzemski, a guy that has hit leadoff in playoff games, has hit leadoff for good baseball teams, and is quite possibly – listen, when we had our postcast a month ago and everybody was talking poorly about Jonathan India, we need Mike Hill in the leadoff spot, we need Isbell in the leadoff spot, Water, whoever you want in the leadoff spot, I came out and said it. Jonathan India isn't just the best leadoff guy on this team. He's the only leadoff guy on this team. Now the Royals have 2. And Casey brings up in the chat, Garcia leadoff. No, he's not a good leadoff hitter. We tried this experiment last season. He's not a good leadoff hitter. He doesn't have the approach at the plate that you need to lead off. I don't think he's a leadoff hitter. Hell, I don't even think he's a cleanup hitter where he's hitting right now. I honestly think he's best suited for the 2-hole where Bobby Witt Jr. is at right now. I think if he's not hitting there, you hit him 5th or 6th, and you get kind of that second leadoff guy in a position where you're needing guys to take at bats in the second, third time through the order. I don't think Jonathan India has been very good this season, especially here in the last month or so. I think Mike Yastrzemski needs to lead off going forward. He will not tomorrow because it's a lefty on the hill, and Matt Quintero does not like to hit lefties on lefties, so I doubt it happens tomorrow. But maybe when Dustin May makes the start on Wednesday, and Mike Yastrzemski, who has an extended history against Dustin May throughout his career, they both played in the NL West, maybe we see him there in the leadoff spot. But I I definitely think that Jonathan India's time in the leadoff spot is at jeopardy right now. I think tomorrow's probably the last time we see him in the leadoff spot for a while. But before we wrap this up, I'm sorry I didn't talk about it until now. I got too caught up with all the negative comments about Bailey Falter. The sending of Lofton, the not sending of Lofton, it was stupid. Whether he sent him, whether Lofton ran through it, whoever the hell made that decision, it was a stupid decision. It's a 3-run game. Nick Lofton, and say he scores. What happens? What does that change in the game? It's still a 2-run game, and you need to get another runner in scoring position. It doesn't change anything. You just get a little bit closer. Now, if he gets thrown out, well, guess what? The inning's over, and he did get thrown out. But it's, Wilyer Abreu's got a really good arm in right field. It was a stupid decision by whoever made it. Vinny had just gone deep 8 batters ago. Let Vinny hit with a runner in scoring position, with a tying run at first base. The position that Vinny is in the lineup is to drive in runs. And Curtis coming in the chat and saying that Q just threw him under the bus in the post-game presser. That's very interesting. That surprises me a little bit. I didn't see, they kept replaying it, and I didn't see if they sent him. It didn't look like it was a send, a full wave of the arm. It looked like more of a, you make a decision on your own. It was a stupid decision. But man, that was surprising that he went. They deserve to lose that game if that's the decision you're going to make. And then you have the middle of the lineup batting with nobody on in the final inning against Aroldis Chapman, and it's game over from that point on. But I get it. There's going to be a lot of frustration from this game. I said it yesterday. They just have to win 1 in Boston for me to feel confident. And then they face a skeleton crew of a Twins team on over the weekend where they have not played well recently. I understand that. But I think you take 1 game here and then you just take the series from the Twins, and it's a winning road trip. You go back home and you get some home cooking, which, I mean, they got a bad deal in this. The way they're coming out of the trade deadline with 9 straight roadies, and at the beginning of the season, it was 3 teams that were in the playoff hunt. Obviously, the Twins aren't right now, but you got to play the cards you're dealt, and they got a really crappy deal. Having to play 9 roadies right out of the gate from the trade deadline, not exactly where you want to be, but you just have to, at this point, play damage control and not get swept. Just win 1 game in Boston and play the cards you're dealt in Minnesota and hope you can come away with a winning road trip. That's kind of what you have to be with. That's kind of the approach you have to take right now. That's the approach I'm taking, and I think you should too. I appreciate you guys for being here in the chat. Obviously, a pretty rough result from the Royals tonight, but nevertheless, we'll be back again tomorrow night. Don't forget to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your thoughts, and all that jazz. And you will see us here again tomorrow night around 9 o'clock, 9:15. We'll be back for another edition of the Royals Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network.